Good morning, Hastings. Welcome to today's Morning Explainer, published right here on hastingsnow.com. I am so thrilled to be hanging out with you to get your day started on this absolutely gorgeous Thursday, April 30th, 2026. We've got a really great quick breakdown for you today. We're going to dive into your local weather to make sure you're totally prepped for the day. And then we're going to take a really fascinating trip back through history to look at a few massive events that happened right on this exact date. So let's get right to it. To kick things off, somebody shared this and it just hit the nail on the head. The Hastings Bridge gets to wear its spring jacket today too. Sunny enough for a stroll, chilly enough to keep both hands on your coffee. I mean, I love that, right? It perfectly captures that vibe around downtown, Levee Park, and the riverfront this morning. It's incredibly crisp and bright out there, but as we're about to see, you definitely don't want to let that sunshine trick you into leaving your layers at home. All right, let's dive into your Hastings weather forecast. Frost, sun, and classic spring moods. Okay, so we are looking at a pretty stark temperature swing today. We're starting out chilly, really chilly, with a low around 34 degrees. But once the sun does its thing, we're going to see a sharp jump up to a really nice afternoon high near 53. It's basically classic late April Minnesota weather, right? Totally split personality where it just warms up beautifully by the afternoon. So what does this actually feel like when you step outside? Well, watch out for widespread frost, mainly before 8 a.m. today. It's going to get nice, but fair warning, another round of frost is going to creep back in after 3 a.m. tonight as it turns partly cloudy. Plus, if you factor in a north-northwest wind blowing at a steady 5 to 10 miles per hour, anytime you walk into the shade today, you are absolutely going to feel that chill. Which brings us right to what to wear today in your practical preparation for April 30th. Let's turn those numbers into a game plan. You'll for sure want to start out with a jacket or a warm layer, especially if you're rushing out the door early. Definitely keep a hoodie handy. But for the afternoon, pack those sunglasses because it's going to be bright and beautiful. For all the gardeners listening, remember to cover up any of those sensitive, tender plants tonight because of that 3 a.m. frost sneaking in. And lastly, today is literally the perfect day for a walk down by the river. Just, leave the flip-flops in the closet for now. We're not quite there yet. Okay, with the logistics out of the way, let's shift gears. Moving on this date in history, our very own little time capsule. We're going to jump back to 3 absolutely huge moments that all share this exact date, April 30th. We'll start way back in 1789 with George Washington's inaugural, then jump to 1816 for a massive shakeup in the fur trade, and finally we'll leap all the way to 1993 when the World Wide Web officially went public. It's wild how this all connects. Let's start with 1816. This one actually has deep ties to Minnesota, well before Hastings was even officially founded. Congress passed a law that limited fur trading licenses strictly to U.S. citizens. Now, why does that matter to us? Well, shortly after that, John J. Astor's American Fur Company used that law to completely push out massive British rivals like the Hudson's Bay Company. It's just a great reminder of how local trade, our riverways, and those early power struggles totally shaped the land we're standing on right now. Now, let's contrast that regional story with 2 total global game changers. Over in 1789, George Washington delivered his first inaugural address at Federal Hall in New York. He didn't just take an oath, he literally set a spoken precedent that every single president has followed since. Crazy, right? Then, fast forward to 1993, and CERN makes this monumental choice. They put the World Wide Web software straight into the public domain. So Washington established this massive national tradition of spoken words, while CERN created a global digital precedent. They made the web free for everyone, which is exactly what powers everything from a kid's school research project to the local news we rely on right here in Hastings. And that brings us right to our final section, the sources behind today, and essentially how we know what we know. It's absolutely crucial to know where your information is coming from. Today's explainer was built using data directly from the National Weather Service for our local forecast, the Minnesota Historical Society for that 1816 fur trade context, the Library of Congress for Washington's address, and of course, CERN for the birth of the web. And hey, quick reminder, Minnesota weather does whatever it wants whenever it wants, so always check those official National Weather Service alerts before you finalize any outdoor plans. To wrap things up today, I want to leave you with something to really chew on. How will you use the web to change Hastings today? Think about it for a second. CERN's gift to the public domain back in 1993 is literally the only reason you're able to catch this explainer on Hastings Now this morning. You have that exact same incredible power sitting right at your fingertips. So what are you going to do with it? If this explainer helped you get a jump on your day, share it with a neighbor. Have an absolutely fantastic, sunny, and properly layered Thursday, Hastings.